Typically, when you play WorldBox, it involves a lot of death and murder and chaos and destruction. And did I mention death? Yeah, usually whenever you're playing WorldBox and you pick a favorite country and try to make them take over the world, documents like the Geneva Convention become more like the Geneva Suggestion, if you know what I mean. And as you guys know, I've had my fair share of, to put this simply, war crimes. But today, I've decided to better myself and still try to take over the world, but by not violating the Geneva Convention while doing it. So honestly, this might actually be one of my most boring videos ever, because I hate to break it to you guys, but war crimes are kind of fun. But first, before we even pick our country, let me actually explain to you what we can't do under the Geneva Convention. We cannot murder innocents. We cannot take hostage. We cannot humiliate and degrade people. We cannot commit sexual violence. We cannot force people into our military. We cannot deny people a fair trial. We cannot attack hospitals or any other place of aid. We cannot abandon or neglect wounded and sick. We can't target civilians. We can't pillage property. We can't destroy historic monuments. And, so on and so forth. A bunch of boring stuff. But you get the idea. And honestly, this may not even sound that hard at first, because a lot of the stuff I just listed you can't even do in WorldBox. Like, how am I supposed to blow up hospitals when there are no hospitals? Because trust me, if there was hospitals, I would very much like to destroy them. But there are other things too. Like, technically under the Geneva Convention, I can't just randomly invade countries. Like, you have to have a reason or something, so we might have to tamper with a little bit there. And if I break any law, even one, I'm going to immediately fail the challenge and blow up the country that I chose, which is kind of ironic, but you get the idea. But first off, we have to pick what country we're going to be using for this challenge. We want a very powerful one, and I'm going to go with Canada. And the reason why is because even though Canadians seem very kind, never ask a Canadian what they did during World War I. These guys are known for their war crimes. So as we get right into it, you're going to notice that I have the rulerbox mod installed. If I click K on my kingdom, you'll see my entire economy tab up here, and we need to begin prepping for our first invasion. But remember, one of the laws of the Geneva Convention is that I can't randomly kill civilians, so we're going to have to turn off angry villagers, which hopefully means that most innocent civilians are spared. But as our country grows, we need to go ahead and invest into some things to make our country even better. And as much as I would like to absolutely just screw up and destroy Canada, probably not the best idea to get too crazy. So we're gonna go with high taxes, low military spending, even put some into government spending, and dear God, I've never done this before, but even healthcare spending too. Won't do any education spending though. I would never allow my citizens to even have a chance to become smarter than me and realize what kind of hell they're living in. But to be even nicer and also make a little bit more tax money, we're gonna give our citizens free press. We're gonna give them no firearm regulation either. We do want to go with some encouraged population growth though, so that we can actually have more people to try to take over the world ethically. We're going to go with unlimited working. Wait, hold up. Am I allowed to do that? Okay, so after looking it up, we can actually not do unlimited working hours. I know, this is an absolute outrage. Not because we couldn't do it for our own country, but if we take over any other country, we technically wouldn't be allowed to make them work. But it does seem like we can do a little bit of work though right here, so we're gonna go with extended working hours. And that pretty much will finish everything out here. And I have enacted some policies to give us even more tax income. But believe it or not, I cannot enact the forced labor policy. Look at all those benefits. But with our country set in motion, we're actually doing pretty good because, for once I didn't decide to just completely screw them up. We have a shocking 21% stability, which I know sounds extremely low, but usually when I make these videos, it's in the negatives by now. And we're actually making a decent amount of money too. Everything's coming up Canadian right now. And, it's actually kind of fun to actually play this mod the way it's intended for once, huh? But as our army strengthens and grows, I want to go ahead and make our first invasion on Greenland. However, we need to come up with some sort of justification for it. And if I've learned anything from history about countries trying to justify war, just fake a massacre. So, we just have our civilians working on the farm, everything's nice and good, and then, wait, what's this? Oh no, a bomb's falling. What a terrible accident. That killed a couple dozen people. I know who did this. Those Greenlanders up there. We're declaring war. And just like that, war has been declared. And now our troops approaches their boat, and they head up to Greenland and begin, nicely destroying it. Yep, they totally didn't do anything wrong. I actually think they didn't. There's like barely any destruction going on. We did it. We took Greenland, which was more of a test, but without breaking any laws of the Geneva Convention. And if we did actually break any of them, I didn't see anything, so therefore nothing bad happened. That's how that works. And now we are quite powerful, and we're gonna let ourselves get even more powerful as we set our eyes on the United States of America as our next target. And because of our population growth program, it should rise slightly higher than theirs in the future. And actually, I forgot with this mod, I can actually invest into different kinds of houses, like right here. So being the great leader that I am, I'm going to build not one, but two. Never mind, we're out of resources. I'm going to build one small house. Yes, please. Yes, I know, I'm the best. I'm the greatest of all time. But that should actually unironically make our population get a little bit larger. But as our population surpasses 400 troops and the US is still in 270s, and we can go ahead and declare war on them. But once again, we need to be justified in this, you know? It's quite simple. All we have to do is take a US soldier, possess him using our power as God, and murder this kid right here. Just like that. Now everyone's attacking me, even my own army. So now we can go and declare war on the United States of America. And as this war begins, I'm really starting to figure out the difference between morals and ethics, because even though this challenge means we are ethically trying to take over the world, this is not very moral at all. But as we zoom into our armies here, it's pretty clear that most normal civilians are being ignored like usual, and only the soldiers are being attacked. However, the US right here is sending their own navy ships to bomb their own country and killing civilians too. So the US is actually the evil one here. They're doing the immoral stuff. But that actually does have me thinking we need to watch out for our own navy, because it seems like they don't have many ethics at all. But as we send our army in, we take down the US just like that. And now as we regain our strength once again, we can already put our sights on Mexico and pretty much all of Central and South America. But I am kind of running out of justifications here. But honestly, like, really, who's gonna stop me at this point? Even if the UN did exist in WorldBox right here, it's not like they would do anything anyway. They might send me a strongly worded letter or something. But you know, in real life, I actually used to have a friend who was from Mexico, and in first grade, he insulted the shoes I had on, which made me really mad. So you know what? I think that's enough justification right there. We're gonna go to war with Mexico. So yeah, take that. Now you'll think twice before you insult my light up Skechers, man. Oh wait, was he from a Central American country? I can't remember. Oh well, better to go to war with both at this point, I guess. And honestly, we can probably go ahead and throw in Venezuela too. If the US can just randomly take over Venezuela, then why can't we? So we'll throw them in the mix too. And now we are at war with all of these countries, including Colombia. I'm assuming they just had an alliance with somebody, because I don't even remember declaring war on them. But here we go. Mexico is already falling. See, we're just walking in the Central America. No bombs or anything. Okay, there's a few bombs, but we didn't do anything wrong with them. And why do we have boats attacking Peru? We're not even at war with them. Who is this boat? Plicken from the United States of America. Oh, it's an American boat. That honestly explains a lot about why he was attacking random countries in the first place. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to get rid of you, dude. And is this an Alaskan boat attacking our own country? How is that even the what do you? I think we just need to get rid of all boats until we need them. But eventually, we send our troops in and destroy Colombia. Listen, okay, I wasn't zoomed in, so I didn't see what happened, but I think we can assume that some bad stuff happened in there. So you know what? I haven't even thought about this, but another thing that we can actually do to try to make our soldiers more kind is change their culture. And we're going to edit our culture in a way that makes them as nice as possible, and, you know, also do as little war crimes as possible either. So instead of xenophobia and ethnocentric guard, like usual, which is essentially just racism, we are going to go with xenophiles, which means they actually like diversity and unity. And what about serenity now? Focus on tranquility, never starting wars. Okay, yeah, that's not us. We're not going that far. Somehow we actually have the ability to craft flame weapons, but it's actually against the Geneva Convention to use very cruel weapons. So we're going to turn that off. Instead, we will make it so our culture prioritizes training so we can become stronger. I would love to do tiny legends. Children begin contributing the work from an early age. I love how they phrase this. It says like tiny legends, like it's absolutely cool, but it really is just child labor, which unfortunately we can't do. So we should have a pretty good culture now. But another thing is that we all share the same religion too, which, yeah, has the right of the roaring skies, which could definitely be considered as a war crime, considering you can just summon lightning strikes on your enemies. So I have changed the religion to include the ability to cast cures and cast blood rains. So basically now our guys are essentially healers instead. So now everyone should be a lot nicer, but for some reason, as soon as I became nicer, we are now in negative stability again, which which means we are going to be losing a crap ton of money. So let me try to fix this. Apparently, we could probably raise this a bit by getting rid of no firearm regulations at all, which is kind of stupid to me. Like, what do you mean, like, everyone being given access to a firearm makes our country unstable? So with that, we are back to a questionable 22% stability. But it's time to begin our expansion once again. I'm pretty much planning to go to the war with all of South America at once. And once again, I think I actually have a pretty smart way to justify this war. You'll notice that all of South America shares the same religion, which includes the right of the roaring skies trait like we saw earlier, meaning if we just do a little, oh, I don't know, boom like that, then there's only one place it could have came from: the evil South Americans. So now we are at war with all of South America at once, and we begin sending our army in. They should be no match for us, but they're actually sending their forces into Mexico and Central America and taking some stuff here. But it seems like they're actually trying to kill a lot of our civilians here, so for once we're actually on the defensive here as they sent everybody in. And they almost take the US, but looks like we continue going out here. We're going to go up to extensive conscription right here, which will give us even more soldiers. And once again, in the crossfire, many countries start randomly getting destroyed. Mexico is gone. I believe Colombia got destroyed, but it's all part of the crossfire. This is all still fine, what we're doing. Everything's completely legal, I assure you. But we begin taking Brazil like that, and I think with this, we grow strong. That was actually a lot closer than I thought. But with, you know, mostly everyone... Oh god, there goes Bolivia again. This challenge is getting very, very questionable. We go in and take Argentina and Chile, and just like that, completely ethically, we take all of South America. Except for part of it. Who owns over here? West Africa. Are we serious, guys? Okay, well, I think I know where we're going next. I mean, these guys literally swooped in and took the land that we were totally justly invading. So I think for once we actually have a justification to go in for Africa over here. But I've been keeping up with West Africa, and I believe they might... Yeah, they're in an alliance called Eggs of Water, with a lot of the northern African countries comprised of a total of 800 people, while we are just 700. This is going to be a war we're going to have to prepare for. So as a lot of time passes, Canada is now near 1.1 thousand people and over 600 soldiers. So with that alone, we should be able to take down their alliance. But using our claims on the land that West Africa stole, we are going to declare war on them. But since everyone is nicer now, there should be as little violence as possible. Look at this. We actually even cast the blood rain clouds to heal everybody up here. That's nice. Oh, those were fire clouds, not blood rain clouds. Wait, I think they accidentally cast that on us. Yeah, they're trying to cast that on us, but because we're in the Americas, the clouds are just running over and then affecting them after. But surely this has to be illegal. I mean, look at this. What is this? They're absolutely torching through our entire military and killing hundreds of people. Now, to be fair, we are killing a bunch of them too, but not their people, just their military. Okay, you know what, guys? I think it's time that fire meets fire. We're going into your religion, and we are allowing you to summon meteors, and anybody can do it. I would go on a limb and say that this is actually legal, because first of all, they're doing a lot worse stuff to us, and this is just the same as bombs. You're allowed to bomb people. And yeah, a couple of meteors fall, and now we begin easily taking these countries. That might have been a bridge too far. We've killed everyone, haven't we? But we take Saudi Arabia, and then we win that war. You know the old saying that goes, history was written by the victors? We won that war, so therefore we did nothing wrong. We'll just say that those meteors weren't by us. That kind of just happened. Look, we're already fixing it. See, look, we're helping them. We're the good guys here, right? I don't think we're the good guys. But as we finally get back to our peak strength, now stronger than ever, we need to go in and deal with the rest of Africa, which once again, I think they're in a big alliance, and they've even added China now, which I don't think China and India would ever really be in the same alliance. But now, once again, we just need a reason to invade them. Wait, what's that over there? Do you see that? There, that kind of weird thing. Oh, well, it's gone now. Oh, hey, look, we're at war with these guys. Hey, how did that happen? Oh, well, I'm not going to stop it now. Let's just keep going. And we seem to be doing okay. What happened? Where did our kingdoms go? Oh, God, they rebelled. I forgot they could do... What just happened? Oh, we just used our meteor powers and blew up India. I don't think this one's legal. Oh, my God. I think we lost. Yeah, I'm sorry, Chief. I think that's it. But, you know, let me just confirm, because, you know, technically they may have never said anything about it. So is launching a bunch of meteors at a country you're at war with against the Geneva Convention. Let's see what Google has to say about this. Yes, meteors or any kind of weapon from space would most certainly be a major violation of the laws of war. Ooh, you guys are so bold. boring, jeez. The potential civilian harm from a military strike would be, yeah, whatever. So that makes us tonight's big losers, and as our punishment, we're gonna get Sarbombed into the ground. Yeah, I know, this is probably also against the Geneva Convention, but to be fair, like, who are they gonna punish at this point? But as we click unpause, you will see that North America and mainly Canada is eviscerated. And honestly, the world might even be better off like this, but let's just, yeah, get rid of one more down there. But if you're still watching at this point, clearly I did something to entertain you, so I would appreciate it if you would click like and subscribe, and also join my Discord too, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.